I'm Denise Dunleavy. I'm an animal communicator and certified animal massage practitioner. And today I want to share with you some ways to help your anxious pet. This is Finn. You can see we've already been practicing some of these techniques, so he's already feeling pretty relaxed. It can be a little more difficult when your pet is actively feeling anxious. But sometimes animals don't know how to calm themselves down. When I communicate with animals, I always ask them what is stressing them out or what's causing the anxiety. And sometimes there's an issue that we can help with. But often animals have suffered some kind of trauma, or part of their personality is just this underlying level of stress that's always there. And I said, just like people, some people are just more anxious than others. But our animals often need help calming down their nervous system because they don't know how to do that themselves. The first technique I want to show you is just petting. But the key is to start all the way at their forehead and pet all the way down their entire body, including the tail. You can see he's starting to lick. That's a sign that he's noticing something's going on and something's a little bit different. But the reason that this is important is because their nerves start and cover their entire body. And so this is continuous. It works through the entire system. If you were to, say, pet them and stop in the middle, sometimes you can actually see their skin flinch a little bit because their nervous system says, oh, that felt really good, and then it stopped. So it can be kind of a jerking sensation. And not maybe something that you can see, but that's what's going on in their body. One of my favorite techniques is tapping. So you can tap just using your fingers and just tap a little bit on the head or on the tailbone. And you can see that I'm holding one hand still while I'm tapping with the other one. And this does the same thing as petting all the way through their body because it's connecting the nerves and the head with the nerves through the rest of the body. It's kind of like a way of connecting the mind to the body and bringing them together. I also like to have a mantra sometimes. So an example is if you have a dog that reacts to other dogs, so it's hard to go on walks, you can try doing something like tapping and saying, I am safe, that dog is safe, you're protected, letting him know that it's going to be okay. That just helps them hear it and also feel it at the same time. Sometimes it's easier for them to take it in that way. Now, this technique doesn't always work if your pet is already feeling anxious. If they're already on edge, it may not be enough to really calm them down. So it's important to do this before you go on your walk. And if it's possible, if you see an animal down the street or across the street, to stop and do a little tapping and let them see the dog from far away. If they can see them and you can tell them that they're safe and they can feel it in their body, then eventually they can learn to stay somewhat calm. So doing it before you leave or before the situation when you're still a little bit removed from it. Another technique to help your animal feel into their body is just stretching. So using your whole hand, you can put it on their back and move very slowly. So you're pressing down relatively firm, enough to kind of pull the skin just a little bit So you're kind of stretching, and it moves the muscles, and this just helps them feel more grounded. They're coming back to a relaxing position. If their energy is somewhere else, it can bring it back to them. Notice he's shifting again. Sometimes you just get subtle signs, but you can tell that they're noticing either just that something's different or that they're moving to a different level of relaxation. And I'm actually going way too fast for this. So the key is to really slow down. He's starting to snore a little bit. And you can always do some massage. You can just rub them a little bit, just even moving the top layer of skin around without really getting into the muscles too much. And this really helps with their circulation. So it's more for their health and the body, but it may also be relaxing for them as well. Another thing that you can do is breathe with your pet. They will match your breathing. So for instance, if you're falling asleep, they will hear that and feel that and will most likely fall asleep as well. So you can do something like counting or do an audible breath, because they will pick up on what you're doing. The final thing that's really important in helping if you have an anxious pet is looking at yourself. And this one can be very hard, but if you are an anxious person, there's a very good chance that you have an anxious pet. That is partly because they can feel your energy. They're very in tune with you and they may just know. So they could be mirroring that back to you, or they could be feeling the same kind of anxiety that's in the energy around you. They could be trying to carry that for you. And this is not something that you're doing to them, but sometimes an animal will feel like if they can kind of take on some of the anxiety, that you will feel it a little bit less, because our animals are constantly transmuting energy for us. Anything that you would do to help relax yourself will also be good for your pet. I recommend listening to calming music. It could be meditative music or anything that feels good to you. You can try aromatherapy like lavender oil. If you can smell it, your animal can smell it as well. And just even taking a bubble bath or something like that, if your animal is around and you're calming down, they will follow suit. They will try to match what's going on with you. So I hope that these are helpful. Let me know if you try any of them and if they work for you. And as always, if you'd like me to talk to your pet and find out what's going on with them or what they're feeling anxious about, I'm always happy to do that. Sending love and good vibes to you.